Dubai, a city where Lamborghinis collect parking dust and ATMs spit out gold. It's the playground of billionaires, influencers, and probably 5 crypto scams per square mile. But behind the luxury is a truth people don't post on reels. A truth buried under skyscrapers, hidden behind labor camps, and silenced under non disclosure agreements. Because this desert empire, this glass and steel fantasy, wasn't conjured by oil alone. It was built by brown and black bodies, bought, borrowed, broken. Welcome to the story they don't tell you on a travel brochure. This is how modern slavery still exists in United Arab Emirates, and how the same colonial logic that drove the African slave trade never really died. It just got rebranded. Tourists in Dubai get the royal treatment. Luxury shuttles, gold tinted resorts, personalized service. But just 30 minutes outside of the city, it's a different world. They're called labor camps, but don't let the word camp fool you. These are not summer retreats. They're government sanctioned warehouses for human labor. Thousands of men live in overcrowded, heat choked dorms, stuffed 8 to a room the size of a prison cell. No AC, barely working toilets, and food that wouldn't pass a high school cafeteria check. You think this heat in America is bad? Try summer in Dubai, working 12-hour shifts in 120-degree sun, then return to a tin-roofed oven they call home. Your workday starts before sunrise. You get trucked in like cargo from the outskirts into the shiny parts of the city, just to build more of what you will never enjoy. Lamborghinis on the boulevard, artificial islands in the sea, palaces where one chandelier costs more than your entire family's net worth. None of that glimmers without the people packed into these invisible compounds. And here's the thing. These conditions aren't a bug, they're a feature of the system. Workers living far from the city means they stay out of sight, out of mind, easy to control, even easier to silence. Reporters have been jailed or banned for even trying to document these camps. Complaining gets you deported, organizing gets you blacklisted or worse. So, next time you see a drone shot of Dubai sparkling in a desert, zoom out. There's a city beneath that city, one made of sweat, silence, and survival. The story of Dubai didn't start with oil or influencers. It started like so many stories of exploitation with an empire. In the early 1800s, Britain signed a series of treaties with the coastal Emirates, including what's now Dubai, turning the region into a protectorate. By 1892, the Trucial States, as they were called, were effectively under British control. The crown didn't care about camels, it cared about location. The Persian Gulf was a trade choke point, a strategic chess piece. And what did the empire bring? Gunboats, taxes, and a little thing called the Indian indenture system. Sound familiar? By the early 1900s, Dubai had already become a hub for imported labor. South Asians, Persians, East Africans working in pearling and shipping under elite Arab families connected to British networks. Then came 1966. Oil was discovered and everything changed except the labor system. To build fast and cheap, the rulers of Dubai leaned on what the British perfected: outsource the risk, import the bodies, exploit the borders. Today, over 88% of the UAE's population is non citizen. Most are migrant workers, mostly from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, and the Philippines. They power everything from construction to sanitation to the glimmering hotel towers you tag on Instagram. And still, in 2021, while Dubai was hosting Expo 2020, watchdog groups reported widespread human rights abuses, from withheld wages to passport confiscation, all while the world smiled at innovation and global collaboration. Look, here is the kicker. The same logic that built the British Empire is baked into Dubai's skyline. Cheap brown labor, invisible suffering, and luxury for the few. So no, this isn't just about Dubai. It's about how colonial capitalism never left. Now, let's talk about how Dubai pulls this off today. Meet the Kafala system, an immigration and labor framework used across the Gulf region. In theory, it's a sponsorship system. In practice, it's a trap. Here's how it works. A migrant worker from, say, Nepal sees a job ad. Work in Dubai, 600 a month, housing included. Okay. They sign up, sell family jewelry to pay a recruitment fee, and board the plane. That fee alone could be $1,000 to $5,000, a lifetime of savings in the US dollars, right? So when they land in Dubai, their employer becomes their legal sponsor, their kafil. That sponsor holds the power to 1. Keep or cancel their visa, 2. Approve or deny job changes, 3. Withhold wages, and 4. Confiscate their passport, which is illegal, but still rampant. Now, imagine being trapped in a desert, sleeping 10 to a room, working 12-hour shifts in 110-degree heat. No union, no recourse, no escape. Speak out, you disappear. In 2014, Human Rights Watch exposed just how bad it was during the construction of the glittering Saadiyat Island projects. Workers were promised salaries that never came, had their passports seized and were crammed into filthy camps with open sewage. In 2022, Amnesty International found that despite reforms, these abuses still existed. One report said workers had to pay bribes just to get the wages that they were already owed. Look, they'll build a climate controlled indoor city but can't provide air conditioning for the men who built it. And yet influencers are still out here filming thirst traps next to fountains built on actual sweat and suffering. Here's the thing. You don't need chains when you've got debt bondage, visa blackmail, and global indifference. Dubai did not invent this, it just refined it. So, why hasn't anyone done anything? Why don't the headlines scream slavery in Dubai every time a new skyscraper goes up? And the answer is simple. Everyone's in on it. The West turns a blind eye because the UAE brings three things to the global table: oil, money, and immaculate vibes for arms deals, drone expos, and Formula One racing. The Gulf monarchies, especially the UAE and Saudi Arabia, buy billions in weapons from the US, the UK, and France, so no one's about to ruffle their condoras over human rights. Meanwhile, global institutions like the UN will send concerned observers, then pose for photos while sipping tea in air-conditioned palaces. And tourism, influencers with hundreds of thousands of followers get flown out for Dubai dreaming, post drone shots from Burj Khalifa, and pretend they're not standing on top of a mass exploitation engine. When Dubai hosted Expo 2020, which got delayed because of COVID, over 30,000 migrant workers helped build the pavilions. Many faced wage theft, heat stroke, and abusive conditions, and yet the world showed up smiling with brochures in hand. Why? Because challenging Dubai means challenging the global supply chain of wealth itself. Because if we call it slavery, we'd have to admit it never really stopped. It just has different PR. Look, you want to know what modern slavery looks like? It's not in a dusty museum, it's on your feed. It's the skyscraper behind your favorite travel vlogger. It's the mall full of brands that stand against injustice, just not this injustice. So the world stays quiet because gold buys silence. Because you can't hear screams when the music's that loud, and because there's too much money on the table. So what do you do when an empire is built in plain sight, but the foundation is buried bodies, unpaid labor, and silent suffering? How do you boycott that? You can't boycott a system you never even saw, but now you see it. So the next time you hear someone say, wow, Dubai is so futuristic, ask them, futuristic for who? Because it's not just about Dubai. It's the blueprint, a flashy, luxurious, PR-proof dystopia built on the backs of people who don't get to leave. Modern slavery doesn't need chains anymore, just a plane ticket, a fake promise, and a confiscated passport. So yeah, Dubai was built on modern slavery, and until the world stops worshiping money over humanity, it won't be the last.